What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the trading world. Today we are going to be reviewing price action for yesterday, August 1st, 2025, covering all kinds of real trades you can take on NASDAQ futures to make real money. If you guys like this type of content, definitely consider leaving a like, subscribing, following me on Twitter, and checking out my completely free Discord. The link to that is in my bio. Guys, all you gotta do is watch this video, sit back, relax. I'm gonna be covering trades that you could have taken on the market, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let's jump right into it. Oh, and if you want to watch the full backtesting session, there is a live stream from yesterday that just uploaded. It's like a 3-hour live stream. So anyway, going into the market yesterday, we got a really nice 4-hour change in state of delivery, meaning we got a candle body closure below this old down close candle on the 4-hour. And as well, this was a break of structure. You can see that here, right? We get a candle body close below that wick. So if you don't know what either of these things are, go watch that video. The videos where I explain them. I actually don't have a video explaining break of structure, but I should make one, right? And anyway, we at this point we start to expand lower towards these low resistance lows, meaning the market's going to want to run through old lows and old highs. And, well, these are going to have a lot of stop losses below them. And so you can see when we get this change state delivery, this break of structure, we end up running down to these low resistance lows almost exactly. You see how precise that is? And so I'm going to go through. Oh, I'm also going to be covering trades on Twitter today, so hopefully I remember to do that. So here we got that 4-hour break of structure, right? We also have a 4-hour liquidity sweep of this high, and technically it's like a giant, inverse fair value gap, because this is like one giant gap and it gets inverse, right? So with all that in mind, I'm going to show you a trade that I actually took on the market that was about 3R. That was one of my, one of the best trades I've taken in a while, and I think it was a really good trade. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I took that. So with this in mind, right, I knew that we were going to be probably drawing, with all this in mind, I knew we were probably going to be drawing to these low resistance lows here. I mean, if you measure out this consolidation, look how much volume we have in this consolidation. This is, going to be a giant magnet. A lot of stop losses below these lows. So, and with this change state delivery and break of structure, it's just going to create a giant stop run. So then what happened for my trade is I zoomed down to the lower time frame. Here we got the 1-hour chart, and I observed this new day opening gap. You can see that's the gap between the close of one day and the open of another day. So here you can see that's the gap. And this is going to be very, very sensitive. This is called a new day opening gap. Super, super sensitive spot in the market. And so pay attention to when the market rejects it and where we go after, because it's going to be awesome for buys. It's going to tell you, okay, what liquidity is the market going to start wanting to hunt? And you can see these low resistance lows. Once we reject this, we run down to these low resistance lows. So I'm going to go over the exact trade that I took. I'm just going to pull up screenshots. So the trade I took was this trade right here. So we have that new day opening gap. Once we got a 1-hour change state delivery, I entered right off of that, just a regular entering on a close of a change state delivery. On the 1-hour, I knew with this good, candle closure, I'd have a good break-even spot, and then I could take profit all through here. Because once again, why does it make sense to take profit all through there? Because there's just all these low resistance highs and a giant consolidation below. So I knew that there's just going to be a ton of stop losses here. So I actually did take that trade. You can go look at the screenshot of it in the live stream. I don't know where it is right now. So, but anyway, then we continue down lower for the entire rest of the day, and let's see. Within here, there are lots of trades you can take. Once the market opened, right, you can see, so here we reject this new day opening gap. So let me mark that out here, new day opening gap, gets rejected. And also, right, it wasn't even best to align it with the 1 hour, which I technically wasn't. I was just taking it as a 1 hour change state delivery. But technically, right, this would have lined best with the 5 minutes. So you can see here, like this new day opening gap, it's our higher time frame key level. Then you can see this aligns best with the 5 minute. Check this out. Here we have a 5 minute change state of delivery right here. So entry on that 5 minute change state delivery retest. Obviously you could do this one too, but this one's a little cleaner in my opinion. I mean, it's also, you know, measure out the gap from this wick to this wick. This is essentially a higher time frame for value gap, right? Between this line and this line. So this is like essentially both our flow state model and 2022 model overlap with each other. So here you can see there's our 5 minute change state delivery and fair value gap right here, 2022 fair value gap. So liquidity sweep of this high, break of structure, and then fair value gap, and also change state delivery. So anyway, so I would align this new day opening gap with this 5 minute change state delivery. And new day opening gaps, I'm still trying to figure out what time frame they align best with, and so it's going to take a little bit more experimenting, but a lot of time 5 minute change state deliveries do align pretty well with new day opening gap. So just an observation from today. New day opening gap gets rejected, right? 5 minute change state delivery, we retest that. So you could take this trade like this. And this one's cool because it almost perfectly, I think it might perfectly go down to the 8th standard deviation, right? Yeah, you can see how perfectly we go down to that 8th standard deviation here. See how perfect the market is? It remembers, it's because smart money is using these standard deviations to take profit, right? So all the way down to that 8th standard deviation. So then, right, market consolidates a little bit, and then what do you see here, right? This is another lower time frame accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So since London, here, Johnny says it best, right? Let's see if I can find Johnny's tweet. So shorts at market open played beautifully, 2 a.m. distribution, 6 a.m. continuation. So since the market was moving one way overnight, so the market was moving one way in London, New York's likely to continue in that same direction. So just remember that for the future, right? If London's expanding, New York's probably going to continue. So you can see how this was lower time frame, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And let's see if I have a screenshot of that. Once again, if you guys want this whole day in complete detail, go check out that live stream from yesterday. It's going to have every little detail about the day. But I'll just draw it out for you guys, right? Accumulation here. Once again, the market is constantly just moving in 3 phases: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And once again, here's our higher time frame low resistance lows, and you see how precisely we run down to them, right? See how precisely we run down to those? Very, very precise stuff here. So then accumulation, manipulation of these equal highs, and we manipulate those equal highs into a couple different things. Let's see what I marked it out as. I marked it out as yeah, here we go. So you can see accumulation, manipulation, distribution. it was basically like this 5-minute order block, right? Accumulation, manipulation into that 5-minute order block. We get a 3-minute inverse or value gap, and guys, this is so clean. This is so clean. You could have entered on close or on a little bit of a retracement, and we just distribute down the entire rest of the day. And note this S&T as well. Nice to have for conviction to get alongside with this entire move. Super, super cool. And after this, right, the market, we go into the lunchtime session, and we end up getting another trade. I outlined this one on stream. This one was from this one Justin actually took in live time. I didn't even know that he took it, but I actually reviewed this exact trade on my live stream yesterday before I even knew that Justin took this, which is kind of cool. But essentially what we got going on here is a 15-minute gap, and so 15-minute fair value gap in premium of this displacement leg, and this 15-minute premium fair value gap aligns with a 1-minute change in state of delivery. So we get a sweep with S&T, 1-minute change in state of delivery. If you project out standard deviations of that manipulation leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see that we go perfectly to that fourth standard deviation. As always, it's never all or nothing for me, so I scale out. So I do, a lot of time what I'll do is I'll do TP1 at the first standard deviation, TP2 at the second standard deviation, TP3 at the third, and TP4 at the fourth, and then I'll just trail along the way. But yeah, very, very clean. I guess maybe that one's not the best example. That one was a 5-minute 30-second model. This is a 15-minute fair value gap, 1-minute change to delivery. This one's a little bit more clean. And you can also see this is a 2022 model because liquidity sweep, also external sweep of liquidity, but also internal. Break of structure, and then measure out the displacement from high to low. We come perfectly to equilibrium, so aligned with like fair value gap right here, but also conceptually understand this is, even though this is two candles together, this is still a gap in price action. So back to 2022 gap and lower. You can see that I marked that out right here, right? See how it's a 2022 model as well. Come back to equilibrium, 2-minute gap. And let's see. Another interesting thing about the manipulation is we went perfectly to our stat map levels, so the 4-hour statistical manipulation perfectly, also above our key time 8:30. So you want to use 8:30 as a reference point to figure out which way the market could potentially be manipulating. You can see we manipulate into our 4-hour statistically on a bearish day on 4-hour candle. This is where we manipulate to. This is where we distribute to, and see how perfectly we hit both of those. Very, very cool. And then lastly, we have this trade, and this is the last one I'll probably talk about, and then I'll cover a couple of the trades on Twitter. This one was really nice. If you want more information on this one, go check out that live stream. But we had S&T with a rejection block. So this is a Phoenix model. Typically, you enter on the asset that has not taken the low, and then you just enter at the rejection block. But I've kind of made this model more in depth and added it, turned it into flow state where you enter on a lower time frame aligned change state delivery with that rejection block. And you can see this is actually a way more precise way to do it because it's accumulation, manipulation at lows, sweep, change state delivery as well, 2022 model because measure from high to low. We come back to equilibrium and there's a fair value gap here, and then we expand higher. So accumulation, manipulation with S&T, distribution. You can see how perfectly this is AMD, obvious buy model here. A couple other trades. Let's just go through a couple other ones just really briefly. There was, this inversion. This one, just a brief observation I noticed. Maybe you could have taken it, but not anything crazy light bulb. The first presented for value gap held very, very nicely. And, one observation I've noticed about the first presented for value gap is you can actually align the first presented for value gap with a 5-second change state delivery. And this is actually going to be very, very sensitive. And just an observation, guys. But in general, pay attention to how the market responds to the first minute value gap, because it's going to be very, very sensitive to it whether we inverse it or we retest it. Just keep that in mind. And yeah, let's look at a couple other trades on Twitter. We have this inversion from Hydra. This happened after that initial move down, and I noticed this on stream. I liked it. The only reason I wouldn't take it is because we were such a downtrend without a reason to be bullish, and there's not really like good low resistance highs. So those types of trades, personally, I don't take. But if you like that, then you can take that one. Just another observation. So like, I like covering other people's trades so I don't get tunnel vision, right? So you can see Dodgy took that same one as well. Liquidity sweep, inverse for value gap, and then just target 1.5R. We had this Dodgy one set up for life where you sweep out the data low, and then you get an inverse value gap, you go to the data high. A few different ways you could take it. The way that I would have liked to have taken this, personally, is... Let's see if I can find it. Personally, I would have taken this using a 30-second inverse for value gap, but using 2 candle bodies as one. So combining these 2 into one gap, or these 3 actually. And just imagine you don't know what happens on this candle, right? Objectively, with this pop off this low and the way we close above these sequence of candles here, I could confidently assume we're probably going to distribute higher. And so it's like accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And we also had a 3-minute volume imbalance as well. And just understand, when we sweep out a data low, very, very likely we're going to go to the data high. So I like that. You can see Dodgy here takes this exact trade. Or no, he doesn't take that trade, but he takes this. I guess he waits for this gap to get inversed. This one's not as light bulb to me personally, because I don't know, you're entering this inverse in a premium, and I don't know, but you know, if you like this, just here's an observation for you. Dodgy took that. And then let's see, was there anything else? Yeah, I think that about covers it for today. There might have been some more trades, but if you want more specific trades, you can definitely watch that live stream. I think I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If it was helpful, let me know. Let me know how I can make these better, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.